I don't know what's up with all the tag fighters being announced lately, with Arc System Works saying Marvel vs. Capcom who, and making a 4v4 game, 2XKO with its 2-person tag system and ridiculous microtransactions, and Mortal Kombat 1's poorly realized cameo mechanic. I know it's technically not a tag fighter, I know, but I want to mention MK, so just let me have this. But the announcement that took me by surprise was Invincible Versus, created by former developers that made Killer Instinct 2013, which makes my fingers hurt just from thinking about that game, and being a 3v3 tag fighter. They even managed to get most of the showcast to reprise their roles apart from a couple of big names, which has only strengthened my view on celebrity casting. Couldn't be my GOAT J.K. Simmons though, he fucking rules. But most of them sound close enough, except for whatever the fuck Alan's voice actor is doing.
I wanna be me too, but you need to tell me who you really are!
I want to highlight Aleks Lee, who not only has carried this game's marketing right before launch, but also on how crazy good his performance is. Because the whole time while I was watching footage of this game, I thought it was cool that they got Stephen Young, and then they revealed the game's cast list, and it wasn't him! It's crazy how nearly identical he sounds. The gameplay is streamlined enough to make it easy to pick up, but has enough bells and whistles with stuff like the assist parry and heroic strike to create depth. I'm so mediocre, and I still feel like I'm doing amazing when I'm able to string together specials and assists, until I whiff once and then get juggled for what feels like fucking forever. When I started playing, I pivoted towards Omni-Man, Battle Beast, and Conquest, mostly off of liking them the most from the show and gameplay vibes, but when I tried out all the characters, I got blindsided by some of the more minor fighters, and it feels like they gave them more sauce on purpose. Like, I never thought that fucking Bulletproof or Thula would be so fun to play. Also want to say, fuck Cecil and fuck Lucan. Roster-wise, you got most of the expected ones. Mark, Eve, Omni-Man, and everyone's favorite character, Elemental. Seriously, what the fuck is she doing here? But the game does have a slight variety issue. Out of the 18 characters, 6 of them are Viltrumites, and counting Bulletproof and Alan and dropping Thula, there are 7 people whose powers are strong flying punching person. On top of missing a couple of basic Guardians characters like Shrinking Ray, Black Samson, and Shapesmith, who could make for unique gameplay styles, but who are most likely not going to get added as DLC over other major characters, with the only one confirmed to come later being the Immortal, which... come on. How is he DLC? He's one of the most obvious base roster picks you've got. I don't hate him at all, but his reputation is a meme at this point, and I don't see anyone buying the season pass for him. That goes for Universa as well. I know she gets to do more later in the story, but as of right now, she's a B-plot villain that got taken down pretty easily. All 9 currently planned DLC characters got leaked, which I'm not going to talk about. If you're interested, you can just look it up. It's really easy to find. And out of all of them, these 2 are easily the most underwhelming. Like, for the life of me, I don't understand why they even bothered with keeping 2 of the Season 1 characters hidden, and that they chose these 2 to advertise the season pass with. Content-wise, it's your standard fare. The online that I don't even want to touch with the amount of rage quitters and disconnectors that are plaguing the game at the moment. You've got arcade mode to level up your characters and unlock icons, frames, titles, and colors. The social media account is self-aware enough, but this is genuinely one of the most community meme-pilled games I have played. The amount of references or jokes in these things is nuts. One of the first ones I got is Amber's crying face when Anissa threatens to rip her head off. I can run the traumatized teenager setup. What the fuck is this game? There's also the story mode, and even with the announced details, it wasn't what I expected. It's not a story mode in the same way as you've seen from NetherRealm, Street Fighter V, or recent Tekkens, but more like a playable episode of the show, which means it's only about an hour long. In your usual NRS story mode that takes 5 to 8 hours, you have about 48 fights throughout. In a single playthrough here, you have 20 packed into a single hour. However, the game throws a lot of fights at you where you fight the same people one after the other to the point it gets kinda repetitive. Especially the end sequence where the last 6 fights, you fight almost the exact same setup out of the 5 Viltrumites over and over and over again. There's also a pretty unbalanced spread between playable characters, with people like being able to be played in 11 out of the 20 fights. He's the main character, so that can kinda be excused. But others like Lucan, Anissa, or Titan, who you only play as once or twice, even though you're constantly given 3 people to use, and somehow you keep ending up with the same ones. Even using hologram mirages to have an excuse so you can play as Nolan and Alan while they normally can't be here during the show's events. Especially when it comes down to who you fight, where several of the heroes only get fought once and you end up constantly fighting the same 5 Viltrumites. You fight Omni-Man and Conquest like 8 times throughout the whole goddamn thing. This could have been handled a lot better, especially with how they lean on 2 of my least favorite fighting story tropes, which are mind control and duplicates to justify a bunch of the fights. You don't even get to play as Cecil, Thula, Powerplex, or Conquest, even though all of them can be here according to the story mode's explanation of events. But with everyone ending back up on Earth and the story just ending, no joke, it just ends. It feels very clearly set up to be continued with another episode or even episodes down the line, and we'll most likely get the unplayable base roster and DLC characters involved. Also, the animation style and fight choreography for the cutscenes is goddamn gorgeous. Sounds pretty good, right? Got a couple of negatives, but overall pretty solid.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
God damn it. Of course there's something, there's always something. On day one, no mention, nothing. Just dropping it on the store, just staring at you. Menacingly. This really rubs me the wrong way. The base game is $50 and just has online arcade and a 1-hour story episode, and the season pass costs $20 with 4 characters and some profile stuff. If you didn't pre-order, play the beta, or play it in the first week on PC, what the fuck is up with that? That's just a stupid FOMO method. You get no actual costumes, just colors. The whole game, it's just colors. If you beat the story mode, you get Mark's black and blue suit, which is also technically just a color, that then gets 4 more colors on top of that. What is up with this? Nothing unlockable like this by just playing the game. Nothing in the season pass when it could use some beefing up to justify the price. Nope, just dropped out of nowhere on day one, and worst of all, they expect you to pay $10 for one skin. $10? Are you out of your mind? Mortal Kombat couldn't even do this without major backlash and dropped it down to $5, which is still too much if you ask me. Most modern fighting games don't even charge $10 for a character, let alone a costume. Modern game monetization fucking sucks, and this is just inexcusable. This game is really fun. It's easy to pick up, and all things considered, I don't regret buying it. But $50 to $70 worth of fun? No, not at all. Excited to see the lead characters get added into the game in the future story mode episodes, but this needs more content and features to actually be worth its asking price. Like, we don't even have an actual character training mode, come on!